Liquid Slick here with Mangrease. We're just about underway here. Can you introduce the teams for us?
Yeah, on Team 1 right now, which is on the left side. I'm not sure how that equates when we load into the game. I think it's blue side. That'll be Team... Is that Niger, I believe? Jeez, I have to look now.
I believe it's Niger and Team 11. Is it Team 11
No,
Niger?
it's Team Niger versus Team YoloMid. I'm just trying to figure out which is which.
Team YoloMid, that's true.
Because I've made the mistake.
Who has like the really bad name and who has the kind of bad name?
Yeah,
that's really what we're determining at this point.
Okay, yeah, no. Team Niger is as a team with Incendiary Spade. I'm a Giraffe, Shrapnel, Killed You, and Oh My Lordy Tuna. And Team YoloMid has Frozen, David is King, Zep, and Butt Frustration. I know
it's
we're
butt
really...
frustration. Let's be sure. There's no R in frustration. It's butt frustration.
Frustration.
You have to, whenever it comes to butt stuff, you have to be very specific.
That you do. There is
Yeah,
no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
As you see, these two teams, I believe, are undefeated. They both have a diamond player on their team, and that's probably a big reason for that. Incendiary Spade is a Diamond Division 2, and Frozen 333 is Diamond Division 4. Those are the two players to watch out for. I think they'll have the greatest impact on the game. But seems like we are waiting for one more player here. I don't know how long it will take.
Yeah, both of those diamond players are, I believe they both play the mid lane, actually. So, Incendiary Spade a couple weeks ago played a mean Fiddlesticks and basically carried his team to victory.
They didn't.
Frozen
that's right, they didn't ban the
Jarvan.
Fiddlesticks.
Right.
That was a mistake.
So we will have to see. Yeah, no, Frozen played some unconventional mids. We saw Jarvan out of him twice, and I can't really recall the third time or the third game he played. So they did. Team YoloMid did give up a game to feed the Poros though.
All right. Wait, who gave up a game to feed the Poros?
Team YoloMid with Frozen.
Okay, so with Frozen, I see. So I thought they were both undefeated, but I was wrong. We're still waiting for one more person. I don't see anybody else here. Let's see how long.
Also, if you take a look, Zep, who is their support, he's only level 22. So he was only level 17 at the start of the tournament. So he's made some progress.
He's made some progress, but probably still pretty bad. Not to be critical. All right, that's just my professional, my professional insight. Now we will see. We got about, I think, 10 minutes is what they're saying, but I doubt that. He's got to be trolling. He had to move his location. If it's going to be 10 minutes, we might as well restart the stream, but hopefully it's not that long.
Yeah, right now on U of Cincy LOL, which is the U of Cincy LOL 1. You don't have to put the 1 after it, but it is Team 11 versus Blackstar. So I think the first game is over or very close to being over. It's drawing to a close. So there's always that to check out. So not much to talk about until we can at least see champ select. Do you want to try and take comments or something just to fill the void?
Sure, why not? I see Zep is already in the chat here. Some of the players getting ready to go. He QQ'd. I did not mean to insult you, Zep. Don't worry about it. Or is that ZBPP? I'm confused at this point.
Yeah, it could be like a 3 that's meant to be an S-set.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see. I have no idea at this point. There, he gets the winky smiley face, and that means we're good to go.
We are good to go. But not in the game. We're not in the game.
Not in the game.
Apparently he had to switch locations,
comments.
So I'm not sure.
Switch locations?
Yeah, switch locations.
Zep. All right, we have it is official. It is Zep. Paper Chase guy is good to go. They're also good to go. Their bodies are ready. Their bodies are ready and willing.
Yes.
Everyone switch colors to pink. I'm in. You want the flaming pink? Like this?
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
What? I don't know if I could do that, guys.
Yeah, you can.
What about orange or purple?
Incendiary Spade in the chat has just let us all know that My name combined with your name equals seriously slick man grease. So
Yeah.
that is pretty sweet. I must
Well,
admit, that was not planned.
if
It
you
just
take the
happened.
first part of his Twitch stream and my Twitch stream, you could have liquid man grease, which sounds juicy.
That's true. That's true. If you belong to Team Liquid, you would be Liquid Man Grease.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
Uh huh. Uh huh. Looks like we're having a little bit of pink party in the chat. That's what it's all about.
I'm not gonna join in the pink party. I'm just not as fabulous as the fifth.
You got to do it. You
the
click
fifth
on
age Tarek.
you click on the
You
little
know,
gear thing, and then you
The fifth
click.
age Tarek is mad at me because I said that he didn't have swag.
I actually have armor of the Fifth Age Tarek skin, and it looks fabulous all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
At all times, it looks fabulous. Please, we do have a lot of pinks going on up in here. The thing is, though, is when people come into the room, they're going to think it's like all the same person talking to themselves.
Not pink. I'm not pink. Just throwing it out there.
I'm going to ban you.
You can.
Magrease is moderator, and you are not the owner of this channel.
Uh-oh, funny pictures in the chat. I guess we click it and see.
Do whatever the fuck you wanted to do.
Robert
anyway.
Downey Jr.
Yeah, that didn't get him very far with several divorces and a long streak of drug use, but I think his advice is as good as anybody else's.
Alright, let me find these teams on here. We could talk a little bit about previous games. YoloMid and where is Team Niger, right? Is that who we got here?
It's Team Niger and Team YoloMid.
All right,
and
cool.
Team YoloMid, I believe, is with Frozen, and Team
Yes.
Niger is with Incendiary Spade.
I'm just bringing up some statistics here. Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters to look out for on Team Niger. Even though Incendiary Spade is the diamond player, we gave player the game to their AD carry Shrapnel after the first week. So he plays basically the bot lane has so far been just Caitlyn and Soraka every game. So it's a combo that they feel comfortable with. Caitlyn is an extremely good champ, even though she's been nerfed. So there's that to look at. We want to see if last game, Incendiary Spade played Karthus and Fiddlesticks. Both were devastating. So we're going to see if he gets any respect bans. As far as Team YoloMid goes, oh yeah, we saw Lee Sin and Jarvan 4 2 times from Frozen in the mid.
I see. I know that we said that if they did not ban Fiddlesticks, that's a huge mistake. He mains Fiddle, and that's essentially what lost that team that game, or at least from what my memory is. Fiddlesticks just pretty much trampled everybody.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll ban him. Hopefully it'll be a target ban. They've been pretty good about target banning, except in that one instance. Who do you think what do you think composition-wise they're going to go for?
I would expect to see comfortable champions bot lane. I don't know that they're going to look to really counter each other or look for a composition. Hectix plays a lot of Caitlyn, so it looks like both teams want to get Caitlyn and Soraka, so we'll have to see how that pans out. So I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think that we've seen a lot of different things from Team Niger. We've seen some AoE compositions with Karthus, Fiddlesticks and Cho'Gath, and who else was there? There was somebody else that was AoE. Maybe not. But we've seen some interesting things. We've seen a lot of poke out of both teams. So it's one of those things. Are they going to go for a specific composition, or are they just going to, play comfortable champions? Sometimes you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. I think that the biggest one that limits them is Zep. It's see what his champ pool really is, and what he can really provide for the team. And once again, if he plays well, he plays well. It doesn't matter that he's not level 30. But usually, if you're below level 30, you don't have that large of a champ pool to really excel with.
Yeah, no. Actually, the first game he played Tarek and Feed the Poros banned his Tarek the next 2 games, thinking he didn't have anybody. I know. How cruel is that to target the weakest
Banning
player?
the Tarek, that's right.
But he had Soraka in all the games. You know, he did a fairly good job. His Tarek first game, he was 1-3-17. His Soraka 0-4-11. So we saw some pretty good games out of him. So you know,
Shrapnel asks, do you think Shrapnel will use somebody other than Kate? I actually
Doubtful.
don't know. Let's ask Shrapnel. He's in the chat. Shrapnel, do you think Shrapnel will use anything other than Kate?
Yeah, I'm curious. What happens if Caitlyn gets selected by Hectix, because he has played a lot of Caitlyn also.
It's true.
And we are not getting a response yet. I'm not sure why.
And then
I'm
he
waiting,
corrects
though.
himself and says then, which is the incorrect version. And then Mr. Inopportune points it out. That's very, that's what you have friends for.
Well,
and that's
he just
also
wants
what
to make sure you don't miss the inopportune moment
That's true.
of correction. It was
that was a very opportune time to correct Shrapnel, Mr. Inopportune.
Stop it.
Should
I am curious
should I
though,
stop
Shrapnel.
then, or should I stop it then? Regardless.
Maybe we should stop it. Just stop it. I don't know. What should we stop the stream?
What should we? What is it referring to? Isn't that what do they call that? A dangling participle?
Yeah, I don't really.
I'm not sure if that's a dangling participle, but I'm going to accuse you of it. You, sir, are a dangling participle.
No, I think it is a verb there, or not a verb, a noun, because it is something. So.
Right, I've seen the name Butt Frustration a lot, but I don't really remember what his champ pool is or what he likes to play. But doesn't he play top lane from what I remember?
He plays in the jungle. He's played Trundle and Maokai.
Okay.
The game that I saw, I'm not sure what he played. If they had a second game because they have 2 wins. So I'm not sure what he played the second game because it was going on when we were playing. So, but he did play Trundle and Maokai. He played Maokai twice actually. So.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, yeah, Maokai is very strong. It really depends on how well your team reacts. And I think with Frozen, it kind of gives them a little bit of an edge when they use a champ like Maokai, someone who can really root, I guess, another champion down. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill to do that. So I don't know. It really, those champs are really hard to play if you don't have a cohesive team, but they get easier to play, and they really do give more beneficial results when you do have a team that's willing to respond with you.
Yeah, I think that if Zep gets the Tarek choice he wants, Tarek is an extremely strong support choice with Maokai because it makes his ganks almost impossible to avoid because you get the Tarek stun, Mal comes in with his root, and then he can knock back and, I mean, maybe not kill you, but it's almost guaranteed that he's going to land the root on you. But one thing I'm interested in, which sadly, nobody here is going to get to see because Team 6 is basically out. They're in Group B. They are 0-2 right now at the bottom of their pool, but they have Booty Slam, and I really wanted to see Butt Frustration versus Booty Slam.
I know, that would have probably been the best matchup in history. Booty Slam and Butt Frustration, casted by Seriously Slick Mangrease. I don't think it gets any better than that. I think we should just stop the stream. I think you need to buy a microphone so you can drop it and just walk out.
Yeah. If anybody watched the LCS All-Star tournament, it was pretty exciting, but they did showcase a new 1v1 map. So if that comes out, I would love to set up a 1v1 between Butt Frustration, and Booty Slam. So even if just to see, let things be what they will.
It seems like he'll be in within a few seconds now. He's just restarting the computer or starting up the computer, so we should be ready to go. And we'll be able to actually talk about something League of Legends related and not totally conjecture.
Yeah. Sometimes
1 second here. I've got to readjust this.
Oh no, he's gone.
I am back though. I am good.
Let me make sure it came up on it. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, there I am.
We're okay. So one thing I wanted to look at real quick was Booty Slam plays top, but I still want to see the matchup. So pretty exciting. It gets so
Seems
confused
like
with these team names because there's YoloMid and Solo Estrogen. I'm trying to figure out who we're waiting on. We're waiting on Hectix, actually, the 80 carry. So,
yeah, you can't start without your 80 carry.
well, you could. It just probably wouldn't end very well.
You could. That's true. That's true.
I mean, they are team YoloMid, so whatever, YOLO, let's do it. 4v5, right?
That is true. I agree. They could.
But I like
Let's
how we
see
were
here.
talking before. If they really are YoloMid, then when they die, they should just quit the game.
It's
Right?
true. You only live
They
once.
should never come back.
That's true. I agree. That would be quite the. I don't know. That would be quite the statement. I think. Really living up to their word.
2v2 on Magma Chamber. Booty Grease and Butt Slick. Wow, they're just mixing all kinds of names.
They are.
What about
I think I might
Slick
change
Butt
the
or
name of
Slick-
my other
Slick
account and
Frustration?
do Butt Slick. I think I should probably play on Butt Slick.
Grease Slick.
Liquid Butt Slick.
Liquid Butt Slick.
It doesn't get any better than that. I'm sorry.
It could get better than that, but
Yeah, but
we
not by
probably
much.
shouldn't share
All
it
right. All
any
right.
further.
Still waiting. This is an intense League of Legends setupery, as I like to call it.
I'm a Giraffe says Slick Giraffe Grease Tuna. You've just taken it too far. It's dead.
It's dead. Slick Drafts, Grease Tuna. Nope. Mac Noob.
Mac Noob.
It's funny that your name came into existence, Mangrease, by nothing actual sexual. That's
No, not
just
at all.
Flipping a common term for mechanic is.
Yeah.
It's-
We had a
it's
buddy that
pretty-
went by
pretty
Grease
incredible.
Man, and we signed him up for something as Man Grease, and it was really funny, and it just clicked, you know? I often get greasy, so...
It's true. We should be starting any moment now.
Yeah.
This actually gives us a time to get some viewers into the channel and get people associated with, or at least comfortable with coming in. They have invited the 2 people now. That is different. So they should be in soon.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and just spam random channels.
Yeah, if you feel like it, tell the people. Yes, and we do have Heck in the room finally. We have 2 full teams and 2 casters. But before we get started, because we have spoken a lot, and there'll probably be a little bit of time before that first pick, you can check out the guy below me, Mangrease, at Twitch TV/Mangrease. We do cast some League of Legends and do play League of Legends throughout the day. And you can see my channel above me, which is Twitch TV/Liquid Slick. And we may actually be starting a tournament series where anybody can make teams, any type of formulation of teams and play. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully we'll be dropping some lines on that in the next few games. And it does look like we're in match select. So I'll hand it over to you, Mangrease. Tell me your thought.
My thought, we see a Jarvan ban, so I don't know if that must be a respect ban for Frozen since he played Jarvan mid a few times. But Jarvan's just all around a solid champion in the jungle. He can really jump in and lock people down.
Yeah, we see Hecarim banned. That's a common ban at this point. A lot of people don't like the mass crowd control that he gives, and he really is an aggressive champion. He can be everywhere. So if you have a really skilled jungle, that's somebody you pretty much have to ban.
Yeah, actually on the other stream, we saw that they had banned out, or they did not ban out Hecarim in one of the teams.
It's true, and he was first picked,
yeah.
and he ended up crushing with Hecarim.
I'm not sure about the Misfortune ban.
I think maybe Hectix plays Misfortune quite a bit. Maybe that's why they banned him out. You do see the Taric ban targeting Zep. We do have a Cho'Gath ban from the other side. It seems like they're targeting jungles. I don't think... Incendiary Spade plays mid, correct?
Yeah, I think the target ban on Taric is really interesting because OML Tuna plays Soraka, and so I think he's going to first pick Soraka, and that's going to leave Zep with a champ we haven't seen him play yet. There's a Soraka pick. So now Zep, they basically banned out his only other champion, and they took the one that it was his fallback. Oh no, they're going to grab Fiddlesticks because it was open. I think that's a much more solid choice.
And Fiddlesticks does give Incendiary Spade a huge advantage in lane already because that's his main champ. That's what he's known for in Diamond 2, I suppose. And they go back to Soraka. They're really kind of tricking us up here. We'll wait till they pick it before any further combination. But I honestly do think the Fiddlesticks pick would be better because at this point you've kind of tipped him off that he's still on the board there. And they go with Soraka. So We'll see if they pick Fiddlesticks out from underneath Incendiary Spade. I think it might be a mistake if they did that, but I think it would be a mistake if they didn't.
Yeah, I agree. It could be a big mistake if they take him. I mean, Incendiary clearly understands how the champion functions and probably knows how to counter him. So if Frozen were to take Fiddlesticks and not be able to play him as well, it could result in some sad times at YoloMid.
What do you think about this? They're showing Diana. I don't know if they'll go Diana. What do you think about that pick?
I'm not really sure. I haven't really seen Frozen play anything other than like a bruiser mid, so it's interesting. Maybe they want to throw her in the jungle.
Throw in the jungle and swap with a Jace or somebody like that. I don't know. I've actually seen quite a bit of Diana play over the past few days, and it doesn't seem like she's nearly as strong as what she used to be. And unless she's really fed, and I mean really fed, she's not really that effective. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
I think her big strength lies in her ability to roam down to bot lane or up to top and pick up a kill, but I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I mean, Shrapnel's going to pick up Ezreal, so I guess that explains that. So we see that they did ban out his Caitlyn, and so he's going to opt Ezreal. Ezreal Soraka, he's going to be able to queue for days and days. I'm not sure really how Soraka's going to help him a ton other than mana, so... And he's not one of those champs like if you get Graves or Ashe where their Q and W cost a lot of mana. It's really good to keep giving them mana so they can keep queuing. Like Ezreal can actually manage his mana quite well, especially if he goes Gauntlet. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, that is true. I think early game you might have a little bit, but not, as you said, as much as a Graves or even a Misfortune, which was banned. I think that, but Soraka's still okay. I mean, it still gives mana in the lane, which leads to incredible sustain. So right now they have their bottom lane set up as Ezreal Soraka, and they also pick Zac in the jungle, which is a very intimidating pick.
Yeah, Zac has just been a key component to a lot of team compositions, even in the LCS All-Star games. So we've seen that he can be really frustrating. I don't know about butt frustrating, but he can be pretty frustrating to deal with. And butt frustration picks up Vi, who he's played previously twice, so someone who's comfortable for him. She's another champ that, like Diana, she's not as good as she used to be. I still think that her ult can be very potent, but we see Zep pick up Lulu, so he had somebody in reserve. Just so that maybe, I mean, it might be in their favor now that they baited out two bans that were useless.
That is true, and we do see a hyper carry coming out from Frozen as well, and then a Vi, a really locked down jungle. That's really, I don't want to say a set it and forget it champ, because she does have a lot of utility, but her ult is also devastating if you catch somebody in lane. So I think that they have a good setup, but then I see an equally good setup for blue team at this point.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who Hectix is going to AD carry with. We know that a couple champs that are good with Lulu are... Draven is pretty good with Lulu because there's a lot of poke damage coming out. Caitlyn is good with Lulu, but Caitlyn's been banned. So we'll have to see if he opts to pick up Draven. I think that might be the better choice. Draven's really good against Ezreal because Ezreal is a champ that doesn't have a lot of HP at the beginning, so they might just be able to burn him down really quick.
Incendiary Spade kind of wafting back and forth here. I think he might end up just picking Fiddlesticks. We don't know. I do see Zep in the chat. I just asked you to turn off your stream or mute it, right before the game gets started there. Might be giving you a little bit too much information there if you do watch the stream while it's going on, so that you just kind of put a limit on that. But it does seem like he might be going for LeBlanc, which would be very interesting. Nope, he ends with Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, of course. He was just showcasing his champions, mixing through them, playing a little mind game. But
now Hectix is doing the same.
There is no doubt that he was going to pick Fiddlesticks, I think. So I think that he might not get another chance. I know I said this before after the way he carried in the first game, but I think that if he plays the same style of game that he did last week, that he's not going to get another chance in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they should have banned him. I think he's probably the biggest target ban that we have here, but they didn't do it, so I think that may cost him the game.
Yeah, I see apparently there's a 5-man backdoor on stream 1, but I don't know how you can backdoor with 5 men. I think that's just a push. So, I don't know that you could call it a backdoor. And I lost your video.
There's something wrong with my cam at the moment. Trying to get it a little bit clearer because it is a very clear cam, but maybe it's just the way Skype is working.
Yeah, no, I think it's Skype. I noticed that before the stream it looked really good, and
I
it's
see.
probably
I
my
see.
end.
Okay. No, regardless, as you were talking about before, that 5-man push as a back door. That's not a back door. That is pretty much a front door push at that point. Um, or either that, or it's the biggest back door I've ever seen in many instances. That's
Unless
not a
they
very
all
good thing.
teleported in, I don't know. Maybe they slunk or slunk through the
Slunked,
jungle.
slunken.
No,
We're
it
just gonna
couldn't
go
be
with slunk.
slunked. I think slunk is already past tense.
We'll just say slunked
I
in.
think
But
slinked, but that's okay.
regardless,
They slunk in through the
regardless.
jungle.
Regardless, we heard Shrapnel say in chat before that, is he going to play anybody other than Kate? I think it was. Look, they banned the Kate, so he had to go Ezreal, so we get a chance to see his Ezreal play. And we see Hectic with the final pick, picking up Varus and snagging a cleanse.
Yeah, Varus
So
is
that's
he's another great champ with Lulu. So that's one that we forgot to mention, but
we'll
Slots
see
of
how
poke.
well the cleanse works out. We do have a little bit of a delay period here. So, what is your final overall thoughts about the summoner spells here? And I also would like to remind any of the players in the game, please, just for the sportsmanship end of it, just please mute stream and minimize it while you're playing. I would appreciate it because if there's going to be an invade or something like that, you could gain a lot of information that way.
yeah, we don't want to give up timers. No, looking at these teams, purple team has definitely set up a poke composition. Diana, I mean, she kind of dives in, but her Q is some decent poke. Jace has fabulous poke, not Tarek fabulous, but it's good poke. Lulu and Varus, so then they round it off with a solid tank, Vi, who can just dive in from a mile away and initiate. So, and Jace is also tanky. We saw that he's been picked a lot in team comps for professional games, so he's a really solid choice. So we'll have to see how David is King plays with him. On the other hand, we have what appears to be, I think, a little more of a tanky team. Not drastically so, but I think that Zach and Renekton both tend to be a little tankier than Jace and Vi. Renekton is one of the few champs that can actually handle Jace in lane, so we'll have to see how it goes. I'm a Giraffe has been playing a lot of him in this tournament. Has had some great games, so we will see. Plus, there's always Incendiary Spade got his main. I'm not sure who Frozen's main is. I'm guessing Jarvan because it was banned. I could check it real quick if you want, and you can just.
Yeah, I don't know who I give the edge to. I think I have to give the edge to the blue team just because Incendiary Spade did get his Fiddlesticks. And Fiddlesticks has a way to impact everybody on the team with his ult. So I think that blue team has the edge, but in terms of team comp, I think purple team really does have the team comp. If Frozen plays a good game, they could get in there and just straight up kill Incendiary Spade if he's really fed and if he's playing a little bit carelessly. Then again, I think they also have the damage and the tankiness as provided by the Jace and the Vi, and also with Zep's support, if he does land the Lulu skill shots like he needs to, and gets his Whimsy and his ultimate off, I believe it's Wild Growth. I think that they will have enough tankiness and enough damage to really get through it, as opposed to the blue team who has to end up in the late game of Soraka, which may cause a little bit of hardship. But then again, they do have Zac, so I think the team comps are pretty even with an edge to purple team, and I would give the edge just overall skill to blue team at this point.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would make purple team stronger is if they swapped out Vi for Zac right now. Other than that team it's a really solid team. Varus, the way is it Blight? The way that works can deal tons of damage real quickly. Surprisingly bursty. But I'm looking at Frozen's at the champions he plays, and it shows that he actually most of his games played are with Ezreal. So he only has 2 Diana games played in ranked. So I'm not sure. I mean, that's just ranked. He could have played hundreds of games with Diana in unranked.
That's true.
So who knows? But so yeah. Whereas not Frozen, Incendiary Spade has like 300 or 400 Fiddlesticks games just in ranked. So
hopefully Incendiary Spade does log in here. As of right now, the skin battle is heavily in favor of the blue team. And, actually, they have Dark Candy Fiddlesticks, which is one of my favorites, and Blood Fury Renekton, TPA Ezreal, and Dryad Soraka against just Full Metal Jace and Arclight Varus.
Yeah, just disappointing that Zach really dropped the ball on this one. Didn't get his purple bio weapon or whatever his other skin is, but it's understandable. It's just a color change, really. He gets an extra, like, 2 tendrils, but nothing major. Full Metal Jace is pretty sweet, but TPA Ezreal is, in my opinion, the best Ezreal skin. So,
Yeah, I do. I also have the TPA Ezreal skin. I think it'll be pretty rare. But Blood Fury Renekton is pretty cool. And I think Dark Candy Fiddlesticks needs more color, but I think it's actually a really sweet skin just overall.
but then he would be Bright Candy Fiddlesticks, so I don't know.
That's true, but still, I don't know. You want when you buy a skin, you want it to show up, and Dark Candy Fiddlesticks just doesn't pop like that.
I know one of the only skins that might even like contend with Fiddlesticks. This is Dark Candy. Is Surprise Party Fiddlesticks, because surprise but frustration. I don't even know. Didn't make
There's
that much
nothing
sense.
better than if you're gonna have butt frustration. There's nothing better than a surprise butt frustration.
Yes.
Just the way that it works out. And yes, Mr. Opportune, this is the first game, so it is 0-0, and it should be a good one.
Yes, sir. I am.
It looks like we are actually waiting on a Incendiary Spade. There he goes. We're actually in game now. We switch to my camera here. We do see the big foam finger Ezreal departing, and Dark Candy Fiddlesticks. We get a nice look at the skins before we slap over to the purple team, and we see their lack of skins there. But Arclight Varus is bringing up the front.
Yep, we see pretty normal things coming out of the buy stage. Interesting, Jace is looking to go for a fast tier, so it's not. I guess it's not really that uncommon. And then we have Lulu at full build right now, so there is that. I'm just gonna rearrange some of these guys so the lane matchups work out in our favor. There we go. We have grouping up to defend the blue for the bottom team is Team Niger. So they're going to defend. Jace is in the tri-bush, but I don't think he's going to attempt anything on his own. We do have Soraka all the way down here by herself. I'm not sure about that decision, but we will have to see. Sometimes they like to do the bush gank right here, play a little tricky, and they'll sit in this bush and wait for the lane to come out and push. So it might result in a quick kill, but it depends what Ezreal started with. He probably started with his Q, so we might see him end up burning his flash. No, they're going to go back into the jungle. And
I actually don't like the decision to go back there. I think that they really had the right idea. I mean, why would you sit there with 4 players and then kind of have a plan and then not actually execute?
Yeah, I want to see some more team fighting level 1. It's always fun to watch. See some invades, and these teams have more skill than most of the teams in the tournament. So it'd be nice to see what they could do.
And it's not really hard to talk. When you're playing with a group of 5 people that you are actually speaking with, or at least 4 people if you're playing with one of them, you can really kind of choreograph who does what in what situations. And it's really a lot better than in solo queue. So there's really no reason not to do it, because if you see 5 players when you go to invade, you can just back out.
Yeah, exactly. And
but I mean, and then the odds that you catch them alone. Sorry if you continue there. The odds that you catch them alone are much higher. If you catch them alone, it's a free kill. So I don't know. I think that I would like to see more level 1 play. That's one thing we do not see a whole lot of in this tournament.
I just was watching Zach Jungle, and I wanted to point out one thing that I remembered. If you check out this mat or this bush up here in the top, where you go into the top lane, Zach can jump all the way across this into the bush for ganks, so it's really potent. He's probably more potent when he's played on the purple side because he can jump into gank 80 carries. But just to point that out, so hopefully we'll see some really good plays out of Zach. He's already looking to go mid, and Frozen might catch him in the jungle here. There he is. He jumps onto Frozen, pops all of his abilities, but Fiddlesticks needs to come down. No.
Fiddlesticks does come down. It's a little late here, though. Not that big of a deal. It does snap back down to bottom lane here, where we see Ezreal and the Varus really start their lane. Who do you think is going to have the edge here? It looks like Varus is ahead a little bit in CS, but do you think that'll hold throughout the lane?
You know, if he can keep up, if he can land his poke, and so can Zep, then I think that Ezreal is going to have a rough time. I mean, it is nice that he has the sustain, But if they're really relentless, I mean, there's a long cooldown on Soraka's heal, so they might be able to just bully Ezreal back out of the lane. He is really mobile and has a really long Q range, so it's not going to completely stop him from farming, but it could cause him to fall.
Oh, wow. The Soraka did put that ward down there in the second brush, and it was actually cleared without any sights down. They just got to it quick enough, which always sucks as a support when you put it down there and you expect to have some vision, and it gets killed before you can do anything about it.
It is always awesome for the other support, though, because you feel so happy. He has the pink. He didn't have to waste it, so... And here comes Zach.
Well, Zach coming in here for a gank.
Level 2, they'll put down Exhaust onto Varus. It looks like he's going to give up First Blood to Ezreal.
First Blood.
And Lulu's going to make it out. So yeah, it's just a really tough position to be in. That's what I'm talking about. Zach just has so much range coming out of the jungle with his bounce, his launch.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good gank. And the thing is he can gank from really odd angles as well. So what's scary about this is they still have Incendiary Spade with his Diamond 2 Fiddlesticks right in the middle of a mid lane. So when you're winning via the jungle and winning in other places, it takes a lot of pressure off him, and that's one thing you don't want to do.
Yeah, if we look top lane, we saw Renekton just dive in real quick and do a little bit of damage to David as king. And that's what I'm talking about. Renekton is one of the few champs that can trade effectively with Jace. He has to be a little aggressive, but once he builds up this rage, once it passes 50 here, he might dive in again, get a little bit more burst. So looking to see if he does that when this stuff comes off a cooldown. Jace is playing a little back, but Jace's poke just isn't compared to Renekton's ability to sustain.
Sure, and we do see a little bit of poking going back and forth. I would not necessarily call it a slugfest in mid, as I often do top, because they're not really exchanging these heavy blows. They're just poking back and forth, and it seems like Diana has gotten the worst of those trades over time, and she probably will need to go back here before Fiddlesticks picks up a kill.
Yeah, she's in a tough spot. Zach's probably going to come in here. I don't see why he wouldn't once Fiddles moves up.
Yeah, and here we go, and he misses the gank. And I don't...
But she's just going to get out. Now you have to remember Zach the way he works.
Oh, and it looks like Vi caught. So we'll get to see here whether or not Incendiary Spade goes down, and he does, which is big news, and hopefully Vi can trigger his passive here, and she does not continue the chase.
Yeah, he went down to the counter gank. Diana did not get the kill, got dangerously low though, so Incendiary almost got a trade-off there, really close. But what I was gonna point out is that had Vi not shown up, they could have chosen to pursue her under the turret, because when Zach dies, he goes into his passive, which is similar to Anivia's. He breaks off into 4 parts and resurrects.
She actually almost triggers his passive right there, just poking back and forth. It's about time for him to go. I know he is concerned about letting that CS push, but at this point he can't really stop her, and he is wasting time because he will have to go back before he gets to the jungle. And if the jungle's really paying attention, they would be able to counter jungle him because of that.
Yeah, that's one thing. Anytime they gank, you can definitely go in and take their wraiths, slow down their jungle, keep them behind, especially if they're not getting kills while they're in the lane.
And then also we see a little bit of poking back and forth here. Varus, even though he did die first, he does have 6 more CS, so he's not totally out of that fight bottom. And Ezreal hasn't gone back to utilize that gold yet, so we'll really get to see whether or not it plays out to really that Zach gank made a lot of difference in the early game.
Yeah, and Vi just came up and wasted a lot of time thinking about ganking Renekton under his turret, but Renekton's level 6, and with his ultimate, he's basically unkillable under his turret right now, and so they want to look out.
Frozen does come down to gank bottom lane, and goes right in on Soraka, but does not get the kill. That is actually huge, because you're letting Fiddlesticks free farm, and he's actually a little bit behind. It seems like we're getting a lackluster game out of Incendiary Spade. He's down 4 CS, and she's roaming, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not she can capitalize on this play.
Yeah, this ward here by Soraka is really key because Diana is an extremely potent roamer. So if she could come down and get kills there and take this game, like, snowballing out of control really quick. And we see a counter jungling going on with Zach, and he does steal their blue. Vi is behind, so it doesn't look like she's going to be able to get to his blue. He just jumps away, and he's out.
Yeah, you really have to pay attention to your jungle, because Zach can get in and get out. You can even sometimes catch him, but with his slingshot ability, you're not going to have him for long. So I think that Zach is really showing that he is where the team needs to rest at this point. He's had one successful gank, and he's stolen the blue, so he's doing his job. It's just whether or not the team will follow up on it.
Yeah, and that also caused the bottom lane to get pulled up to try and defend the blue and get a kill on Zach. And they lost a lot of time in a lane that he's behind in right now. Lost a lot of time to like Ezreal free farming. And there's a pause.
Oh, we do have a pause.
So we lost somebody. I'm not sure who. I guess we will have to wait and
I
see.
do not see anybody back at home except Renekton. And he has a decent amount of farm, so it is hectic. So he did disconnect. And he is still in lane. So that's I was looking back at the fountain to see if maybe someone was back there and just stuck. But as of right now, we just see him in lane. So hopefully he'll come back. He was the guy who had computer problems previously, so we'll get to see whether or not he comes back.
Yeah, if we take a look at the mini-map, that's really all we could analyze right now. But we see Diana is coming in through that tri-bush again. Even though Varus lost a little bit, or Hectix lost a little bit of XP, and he was ahead in creep until he went to try and catch Zach. Diana's doing a great job of being a presence and really, I mean, she's going to make this bottom lane afraid to push out.
And yeah, and that's exactly what she should do. And this is one of the only ways that you can use her effectively. As soon as she hits level 6, you just roam everywhere and you do lots of damage. And you also see Vi showing a presence on bot lane too. So she is not too far away, and she does have her ultimate as well. We are now resumed back into the game, and we might get to see this gank materialize bottom lane. And we actually see it. They are out of position, and this Ezreal should be dead. She misses the Q, but a quick swipe from Vi finishes him off.
You know, I'm really surprised at that mistake. I mean, they had over a minute of pause time. They should have looked at the mini-map, and she was standing right on top of that ward. He didn't turn around to go back. He just stayed there and farmed. So, I mean, really, it's his own fault.
That actually is Pink's ward right there. So, or Purple's ward.
Right. Sorry.
So they pinked it just so Diana could come down and complete those ganks. So it's really smart play on their part, and it's I don't know, a lot of forethought. I think they probably talked about that beforehand.
Yeah, it's a free dragon. Ezreal's all just barely misses it. If he had respawned a little bit sooner, he might have been able to get it. But
I think that Vi did actually smite it. I believe her smite is on cooldown, and it did seem like it chunked down at the end. So I don't know if Ezreal could have gotten it, but it would have been close. That is for sure.
Yeah, she did smite it. She did.
Well, that is, you know, that's one of the biggest parts about jungles is whether or not. Oh, we see Fiddlesticks ulting here and a pause immediately during his ult. I wonder if this is getting irritating, because I think some may point out that they paused right before that successful gank on bottom. Maybe they were doing it on purpose, but I don't think so. I'm just saying maybe they're getting frustrated by the pauses.
Frustration.
But frustration. It looks like Diana did fall to the ult, and Fiddlesticks is showing once again that he is formidable in lane.
Yeah, I was going to point out while we were paused, you said he had ulted. And Diana had almost no health left during that pause, so it was inevitable. So yeah, he definitely needed that kill to catch back up a little bit and get himself snowballing now.
Yeah, he does have 50 CS, which means he is only one behind Diana, so really not behind at all because she is still dead. But one thing that she has done is put a lot more pressure on other lanes. They are ahead 1,000 gold, and that is a direct result of the dragon that they got earlier. So if this continues and he just lanes well but doesn't add pressure elsewhere, she will end up putting her team quite a bit ahead.
Yeah, to put on pressure, you do have to be alive, though. So it's always good when you kill the most dangerous, or the most dangerous. I used a double superlative. I apologize. It's always good when you kill the most dangerous.
Regardless, this isn't grammar school. This is League of Legends.
No, I did not use a double superlative. I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize again.
Who knows?
Mr. Inopportunity moment.
That's true. He got us all out of whack with his then and then. Got us on the wrong track, and I blame him for it, really, to be honest with you. But it looks like Diana's pushed up really far in the mid there, and we see Hectix disconnect again. I wonder if they will pause and give him time to get back. It is really unfortunate. We've all played with lag problems before. And it is really irritating, and it does look like Hectix is not... Oh, and it looks like a beautiful Vi counter gank. They always say the most dangerous gank is the one right after yours, and they do pause. I don't know whether or not they paused because they had that set up or not, but Hectix did disconnect quite a bit before that.
Yeah, that's just... I mean, Fiddlesticks really shouldn't be face-checking bushes without a ward. So there's that to look out for. Darkness Dragon asked if they both teams have a diamond. Yes. Incendiary Spade is diamond, was it 2?
Yes, Incendiary Spade is diamond 2, and the other one, Frozen 333, is diamond 4.
Yeah. And Varus needs a new toaster and calculator, and everybody's all getting upset. But, I mean, these things happen, so...
Yeah, for some reason, my it will not let me see all chat in game, even with the thing clicked. It never has. So
yeah, I'm not sure why mine's done that. I think that they found out the problem is Skype. I think he's gonna hop out of Skype and he should be okay. So,
which do you think that'll play into the game? Him not being able to communicate with his team. Do you think that'll affect the way that he's playing, or do you think that he'll play just as well off the pings?
I think there's definitely an edge to being able to talk to your team and know what they're thinking or why they're thinking it. But I don't know at this point that it's going to drastically put them at a disadvantage, because right now Diana and Vi are just working so well together.
They really are, and their ganks have been really deadly. They actually have Incendiary Spade, the Diamond 2 player, down a -1 in the kill to death ratio. He's played in this position hundreds of times, but he does not have really any other Diamond players to back him up. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, in the first game that we saw him play Fiddlesticks last week, he really got ahead by pushing the bottom lane and putting a lot of pressure down there. And now this game he's not doing it. He's letting his lane counterpart, bully him around and show her presence bottom a lot. So Frozen's really doing a good job of keeping this bot lane on their toes, even though Ezreal is ahead of Varus significantly. A kill and 20 CS.
There was a missed gank up top, but then we also see Diana roaming bottom again. We see the bottom lane pushed again, and I don't think they'll let him leave here. It is warded this time, but will it be too late? Incendiary Spade is there waiting. How great is this?
There's the Fiddlesticks. What great game sense to just know that was coming. Ezreal ult is going to pick up the kill on Diana, and Lux is going to have, or not Lux, I'm sorry, Lulu is going to have to flash to get out of there and not die.
And it looks like Renekton may fall up top here. He gets batted away by Jace. Are they going to feel pressure to make something happen? No, they do back off and play a safer game. That was really, really fun to watch. Incendiary Spade just happening to know that she would roam down there and that he could pick up a kill if he went down. And it looks like Zach will not let him back. At this turret dive, it's really a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Hectix is already behind. He's having communication issues and internet issues, and Fiddlesticks just fears him and drains his life away. But Incendiary, like you said, made a beautiful decision. He knows that there's been pressure bought, so he just went there, hung out in the bush as soon as Diana left, and she just ganked into the wrong lane. It was a great play.
So in one fell swoop, he has not only stolen blue buff and relieved pressure off of bottom, but he has picked up enough kills to put himself ahead of Diana in the mid lane. So that was really, really, and it actually puts them ahead in the gold lead. All they would really need to make this even better is just another dragon, but it is not up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see there's the Ezreal shift to get out of the Diana Q, and she does ult on Soraka. That'll put it on Q down, but it doesn't matter because she's going to pick up a kill. In comes another TP down in that bot lane ward. Does Fiddlesticks running teleport? No, he is not running teleport, so he just had a good game sense.
It was Renekton that did TP down there. But no, yeah, Fiddlesticks, that's what makes it so, that's such a great play to watch, is that Fiddlesticks came down without teleport. He just walked to the lane because he figured Diana would be there, and he ended up getting to the brush right before it. It was great time.
Yeah, and it looks like they caught out Frozen in his own jungle, and Zach's going to make it really hard for him to get out. Fiddles is going to drain some life, but it looks like she's going to get away, just barely. If she comes back in, Incendiary might be able to pick off this kill. No, Zach is getting dangerously low. He needs to get out.
You do see bot lane coming up. Frozen coming here to bait. I think that was a great decision by him. Now they can pick up the passive on him and probably kill Incendiary Spade in the process, and they do. That was a big mistake. They overstayed their welcome. They gave their AD carry 2 kills, the AD carry that's been having problems connecting. and that was one they did not want to give up. I'm sure. I bet you they wish they had that one back.
Yeah, and I mean, Niger didn't even, their bottom lane didn't respond the way that they needed to. They just kind of, they could either have gone mid to assist that, just followed them up because they saw the fighting going on, or they could have pressured that bottom turret and
it looks like Soraka's going to get caught out here as well. And this is just giving them more and more kills. I think that they let her go. And Hectic's disconnects again, and Shrapnel does not realize it and just lets him live.
Yeah, that's the second time Soraka's... Well, she did not die, but that's the second time she's been caught out. This is the third pause for Hectics. I'm not really sure what is happening. But like I said, I mean, you look bottom lane right now, and the minion wave has pushed. So I'm not really sure what their reasoning was. They kind of like half pushed the lane and then half went mid, but nothing really worked out for them. I think they need a decisive answer to either follow up the AD carry and support, or to really push that lane hard and make them lose a turret for it. I think mid turret is definitely a better turret to take. It's if you have to trade for a turret, you want to trade. I would trade my bottom for a mid. That's no problem at all. But I mean, even if Niger takes the bottom turret, at least they come away with something out of that trade. Whereas they gave up two deaths in a turret and almost a third on Soraka being caught in the jungle.
It seems like Blue Team is also taking a break. They're utilizing this time that Hectics is giving them. And I would like to point out the standout player thus far has been Vi. Her ult has been devastating. She has fed not only the AD carry 2 kills on a very pesky passive Zac, she's also given Diana basically the 2 kills and 4 assists that she has as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at the gold matchup. She has 3,800 gold, almost 39, to Zac's 3,600 gold. So even though Zac has 15 more CS, the extra kill and the assists are really helping out. It's always I always say that it's more important to take objectives, but kills are not a bad thing to have. Assists are also not bad to have. So.
Oh, I agree. Soraka's 0-1-4, so. It's good on that respect, but their bottom lane's not feeding too hard. It is really Incendiary Spade that they've focused on, and he also has disconnected, so they're waiting for him to get back into the game. Purple Team, hopefully connection issues do not foil this game for them, because they are 1,500 gold ahead, and they're poised to take Dragon here, but Diana's backing, so I don't think that's what's on their mind.
Yeah, Incendiary Spade had said in the chat that he was having 6 frames a second, so they were going to let him restart while Hectics tries to figure out his problem. It might be, maybe, I don't know if they're watching the streams. That's definitely something that can cause your game to lag, so you don't want to do that. But I did want to point out, if we look at this top lane and look at the gold they have, Renekton with 108 farm, Jace with 103, it's just a farm lane. They're just trying to get as much as they can, as fast as they can, and then Jace is ahead by a sliver of 200 gold, and that really comes from the dragon and the turret that his team has taken. So it just shows how good Renekton's been farming, that he's that close to Jace, even though all the global gold he's gotten. So it really depends on if one of these two players, if Renekton can come out of his lane and make plays happen to let his team get ahead, because his team is just marginally behind at this point. I mean, 1,500 gold is quite a bit, but at the same time, they're only 5 kills, or 5 to 6 kills. So I mean, Fiddlesticks does have 2 kills. He needs to keep himself alive and get his farm up. But if Renekton can come in and make some plays, then that could be a game changer. It depends how the top lane is going to affect the game later on. Apparently, Hectics just moved to a friend's house, and now he's been having internet trouble ever since, so that's a shame. Both players have reconnected, so it looks like we'll see the game unpause here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that we'll get to see a pretty interesting rest of the game here. So I see that, as I said, 1,500 gold. Every lane is beating their counterpart except for Varus on Ezreal. Even though Varus has 2 kills, Ezreal also has 2 kills and 1 more assist, and he's outfarming him by 23. So we may have to look for Ezreal to carry the game for Blue Team here.
Yeah, Skype seems to be a big problem for some of these players. Incendiary Spade was having issues with it also. He had to run Skype through a different computer. So at least he could still communicate with his team. That would be a much more detrimental to his team if they lost their diamond player's ability to communicate.
That is true, especially the fact that they're already behind. We'll have to see here. It looks like Frozen is out of position and top lane is missing. But like she does hug turret. She does seem to have a sixth sense that he may be lurking nearby.
I'm gonna jump to live. I was having some issue where the game was trying to play fast forward. Looks like Renekton comes down and says we're gonna take this dragon, and that'll even out the game quite a bit. Dragon is close to what, 1,200 gold, I believe, total for the whole team. So we'll actually see when they take it. They're at 19.4. Yep, it's 1,000 gold actually. I'm sorry, on the dot, 1,000 gold, and
that brings blue really close to purple in that gold count. Really a negligible difference at this point. And it looks like Fiddlesticks is just going to ult and kill Diana.
Yeah, he caught her just on the edge of that too. So another good play. Awareness. Diana was a little greedy there. She probably should have gone back. She was low. She's ahead. So there's really no reason for her to stay.
That is true. She did get greedy. You can see that. She was just trying to farm. I think that that gets a lot of just one more wave, and you end up dying, and the wave is not worth it.
Yeah, and that could result in them losing 2 turrets here, because bot is definitely low enough. It's going down, and Fiddlesticks gets one more good push with his wave, then he's going to take it down. But Jace is going to come down the river and try to stop Fiddlesticks from taking this turret. So we're going to have to...
Jace is fairly fed. I don't know if he's bought in recently, but he just decides to clear the waves here. He's not going to have any of this direct confrontation. Jace did take his top turret while he did go down and get dragons, so that was a good response. But now they only have a 300 gold lead down from the 1,500 that they had previously.
Yeah, we see some pretty typical buys coming out. Oh, both teams are building quite a bit of MR. Well, not quite a bit, but a little bit of MR right now. Jace even went with Merc Treads, even though his lane was attack damage, just because he's worried about Fiddlesticks. Whereas Renekton had to go Ninja Tabby to be able to farm against Jace. So there's that consideration. But we see that Renekton is going tanky faster than Jace. Jace has a Brutalizer, a Tear, and it looks like Jace is opting to build his Mana Moon first. Whereas Renekton is going for the Warmogs. So, anything particularly interesting in gear, other than I see Ezreal is going blue. Ezreal, he bought a chain vest.
What?
It evaporates.
That's all that's left?
Bot lane, we see a faster Aegis coming out of Soraka, which is definitely going to be more beneficial to her team than the cloth armor that Lulu is offered to build.
I didn't know that it did that.
No, it's okay.
Lulu also went
just like water.
She's a champ that you really want to get those boots in the
I'll just
city
leave it
on
like
so
that.
that you can
Can you
really fire off those Qs and pop all of her abilities as fast as you can. And there's a lot of pressure right now on mid, but the entirety of YoloMid is converging. So they're going to have to chase these 2 bruisers back to their turret. And they turn and go in the Fiddlesticks ult. He does go down. Zhonya's is not completed yet. So this fight is going in the favor of YoloMid because there is no turret to fall back to here. Renekton dives deep. Is he going to be able to pick off 1 or 2? There goes 1. The Ezreal ult comes through and hits 2 players. This is a double kill. It looks like he's going to pick up the triple. No, he just backs off. And he's going to go top and maybe chase after this Jace. But that was a really key Ezreal ult. That just shows Renekton's sustain and how tanky he is. He's going to be able to go back and finish his Warmogs. He picked up 2 kills. And so now he put his team in a good position from a fight that could have been bad. And I think that I lost my teammate. But that
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. My teammate
all right.
Slick.
No, it's I saw the fight. Really, Renekton bailed them out of that fight. Fiddlesticks had a great ult going in, doing a lot of damage. But then he turned the fight. I thought it was curtains for blue team, but Renekton turned it around and picked up some valuable kills.
Yeah, it was really risky. I really thought he was going to go in and pick up 1 or 2 kills and then die until the Ezreal came through and hit the 2 chasing him, which was Jace and Lulu, I believe. So he's able to pick up kills and not die, which is, often being not dead is better than being dead. So, and that results in a mid turret and a top turret for for blue team, and so now they are actually up in turrets and up in gold, 1.5K.
They really did turn it around. Darkness Dragon in the chat asks, it's been a while since I played Ezreal. What is this build? It is a build lovingly called Blue Ezreal. It is made primarily for kiting and not doing all your damage up at once, but doing it over time.
Yeah, the way it works is you get a Frozen Gauntlet, and it not only gives you a Sheen proc, which gives you a little bit of extra burst damage, so Ezreal will Q and do some damage, then auto attack and get the Sheen proc, then he'll W, and then auto attack to get another proc. So he just keeps getting procs off of the Sheen, and the Gauntlet procs also will throw down an AoE slow. So it's really good for him to be able to like my counterpart Slick said, kite around the enemy. It can get kind of annoying because he has his shift and he's really mobile. So Zach goes into his own jungle
Zach gets caught,
and it's all purple in there.
And if Zach is not normally somebody that you want to engage on, but neither is Lulu, so they did trade. Fiddlesticks is still doing a lot of damage here, and it looks like it actually will be a trade that favors per blue team once again.
Yeah, they really pulled themselves out of nothing. They're going to catch Frozen here also, and that kill will go to Fiddles, which is humongous because now Fiddles has his favorite champ. You know, he's starting to get fed. He's 7-4 with 100 CS, so 7 kills. That's a lot of kills right now on Fiddlesticks, and I think that they definitely have the momentum here. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it was a breakdown in communication with YoloMid, but they just seem to be falling off. Vi is not being as useful as she once was at the beginning of the game. And they really didn't capitalize on how far ahead they were early.
It would definitely be a shame if they did lose this game. They were so far ahead from the very beginning.
Yeah, and that fight right there, it just seemed like such a good fight for YoloMid. And I actually expected everybody, or almost everybody from Niger to die. But because when Zach walked into the jungle, there was just so much purple. But his team came out of nowhere and made a big play and made it happen. So kudos to them. They do see I'm a Giraffe hiding in the brush, but he doesn't even care. He's so tanky right now. He's got a Warmogs and a Ninja Tabby. So he's just diving in, doing all sorts of damage. Frozen's at the back, channeling.
We see a great team fight here in the middle, but it looks like Purple Team's going to go down again. Fiddlesticks gets killed right off the bat, and that is going to be a very pivotal kill.
He does pick up the kill on Vi, though, and so the whole team's really low, but Renekton's not able to go in and repeat his play from last time. Jace does have his Mana Moon finished and has 3 kills himself now, so he's getting pretty scary. But I think one of the big differences right now, if Niger is able to play safely and smartly, I think they have the edge because they're just tankier.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
They have better dive ability as well. It seems like they're getting to the back line. They got to Fiddlesticks really quickly. There's no one there to protect them. And even through all that, I think he did pick up a kill.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with that team fight right there was Incendiary was targeting down butt frustration, and really they needed to hop onto Vi and peel for Fiddlesticks. So
sometimes the butt frustration is just too tempting.
It can be tempting. Hectic's playing from behind with bad internet made a beautiful play. Just stood there and did lots of damage with his team, and it paid off.
So what do you think about late game here? Who has the advantage late game? Is it Fiddlesticks and Incendiary Spade, or do you believe that that tops off after a while?
I'm not sure. Renekton is really strong mid game. I know you mentioned Incendiary with Fiddlesticks, but I wanted to talk about Renekton a little bit. He's really strong mid game, tapers off a little bit late game. And if we look across the aisle, we have Vi, who's just becomes insanely unkillable and really frustrating to deal with, and lots of butt frustration from him. And Jace is another champ that scales really well into the late game. So I think that right now is the time for Team Niger to take their lead. They need to claim a bigger lead than 1,000 gold, and they have to just start playing together. Look, Ezreal is extremely sectioned off, and it looks like he's probably going to get caught out here. He does have a turret, but the turret's not much good against 4 people. Yeah, he just goes down so fast, and I think that the Niger just needs to be together and play smart. And I think they can win team fights right now if they calm themselves down and put themselves in a good position.
Great. They did do a great job reacting to him being alone. It seems like Team Niger is taking more advantage of the blue teams being out of position.
Yeah, I mean, for a lane that was almost lost to Hectics for several different reasons, he's come out, like, I would say marginally ahead of Ezreal. He's got 8 farm and an assist on him. There's that. The blue team is having kind of a decent fight here, but as the rest of YOLO comes in, it looks futile. The Fiddlesticks all goes down, and it does lots of damage. It's going to pick up 1 kill, almost 2. Lulu is able to escape. But Jace just is Jace not being tanky and Renekton being tanky, and that makes it rough. Ezreal chases Lulu. Probably not the best decision because of Vi, but I guess Vi was low, so it ended up working out. And that's the type of fight I'm talking about. A lot of good decisions coming from Team Niger in that fight. A great Fiddlesticks ult. I mean, he has 8 kills now. He has a Zonya's up. He has another needlessly large rod. So he's starting to just get out of control. And I think that they have to focus their whole strategy around Fiddlesticks and his ult. I mean, you have great champs like Zac and Renekton to peel for him, so they really have to just focus on keeping Fiddlesticks alive, and they kept him alive, and he did a lot of damage. I'd like to see Ezreal, though. Shrapnel just needs to stay with his team, and that's one thing as Ezreal, it's a little easy to get sidetracked because you're so mobile, but I think he needs to stay with his team a little better.
How do you think they should go about dealing with Fiddlesticks, though? Because he does have that Zonia. I think that maybe Jace and Diana could knock him back a little bit with Lubu ulting whoever's going in after him. But really, when you have, he's going to try to. Is he trying to three-person Baron right now?
That's what it looks like. There's no wards down here, but somehow YOLO is onto this, and so it'll be stopped. I think it was just because nobody from Team Niger was on the map. But to answer your question about Fiddlesticks, I think what needs to happen is that they need to have good ward coverage and good map awareness in the areas where they fight. And when they see him channeling, Lulu needs to whimsy him to shut down his ultimate. Because I'm not sure. I mean, you can't really deal with it unless you spread out more. And I think that by spreading out, Team YOLO really weakens themselves because they're all very poke oriented. They're all kind of weak alone, and so their strength lies in being together. So they have to have Zep, and that's another problem with a newer player is he might not realize that he could do that and whimsy Fiddlesticks out of the channel.
I mean, it will be interesting to see what goes on. We have, I think, Purple Team. I think Purple Team, yeah, is grouping better. I was just going to say that. It seems like they're grouping better, they're getting together better, and they're just generally a stronger team, but Blue Team has the stronger players and the more damage, it seems like, at this point.
Yeah, and the poke from YOLO is just not doing the damage that it needs to anymore. They've just kind of tapered off. Zac is just so tanky. I mean, the Jace Q misses. But even before, when the one hit Zac, it didn't even take that much damage. Now this is a bad position. Renekton is split off top, and Fiddlesticks is taking blue. So that could have been an opportune moment for YOLO to go in there and cause some damage, but they opt not to, and they're just doing this dance here.
It just shows you how important wards are in general. If they had that blue warded or something of the like, they could have engaged right there and fought a whole team fight without Fiddlesticks, and that would have been huge.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks is going to back. No, he's not going to back. I think he wants to buy. He has quite a bit of gold right now. He's got almost 1,000, so he's probably looking to finish off. I know he did finish his Rabadons, I'm sorry. So he's not going to buy. They're just kind of positioning, and this is a good position for Purple. They can take down this turret if they push really, really fast, but no, Blue responds fast enough. And I'm not sure both teams are so close right now. We're within 1,000 gold of each other, within 2 kills. So this is a really tight game. If one team makes one false step, it can really result in the end of the game. Because, I mean, you kill 1 or 2 people, and that gives you a Baron buff,
I don't actually understand the decision here for Purple Team to push. It seems like they're being really aggressive, but you have to be packed somewhat tightly to push a lane like this, to poke down a turret. And I know they have better poke, but one good Fiddlesticks ult, and it's over.
Yeah, and his ult is up. I think that they need to siege because they do have the poke, and that's how they're going to win the game. But I think that it's like you said, it is risky because they don't have the tankiness that Niger has.
And it seems like they are jostling for position here. I think the poke from Purple Team is actually so big right now that they've waited for the long time to and Fiddlesticks catches everybody.
Yeah, and there's the Zhonya's, and Jace walks back into the ult and just gives away a kill. Fiddlesticks is still alive. That's a triple.
And there's an ace.
Yeah, this is an extremely good play. 2 double kills. I'm sorry, I thought we had a triple there. But yeah, no, that's what we were talking about. Zach goes in, and what seems to be a risky initiate, but Fiddles comes in immediately with his ult, and catches everybody, and then Jace turns around for some reason and walks back into it after he's Zonya's. So
we have Agent Smith say Fiddle OP as fuck. I would probably disagree with that because he's got 10 kills at this point and 9 assists. He's got his Rabadons, his Zonias, his Void Staff, and working on Leandries, I think, and has his boots. So he has a lot of magic pen at this point. They know he's dangerous, and they basically let him get his ult off on everybody, and that's really the only thing he has going for him.
Yeah, I mean, Fiddlesticks, I wouldn't say he's OP. He definitely has to know what he's doing and work really hard to get to the position he's in right now. He is one of the squishier champ. He does lifesteal, but if you can catch him out with a couple people, he's really easy to kill. And there's the Baron for blue. Uncontested. Purple is going to come in, and it's just too late. And YoloMid's in a really, really tough position right now. I actually don't understand or agree with the kind of pressure they're showing by pushing into this jungle, because not only did they lose that last fight handedly, but they also do not have Baron now. So Niger has Baron, and they won the last fight. So it just, the rich get richer.
And there's only about a 5,000 gold, about 4,400 gold difference between the two. They're going to try to take Dragon here, and it'll be free for them, for Purple Team. And that'll lower the gold discrepancy a little bit. But just overall, this is probably the closest game that I have casted in this tournament thus far.
Yeah, Dragon is the common response to Baron. I mean, it's no Baron by any means, but it's not anything bad to have if Niger just doesn't do anything. If they let this Baron go to waste, then the fact that YOLO took Dragon can pay off in the future.
We'll see how the Purple Team here does decide to respond to this. They've actually been the aggressor a lot of the time, so we'll see how they defend. Maybe with the defender's advantage, they can turn some of these fights around. Yeah,
and there's a little bit of that kind of a myth in communication that we saw. Varus he's up top. He really needs to be with the team because right now Zac and Renekton are so tanky. They could just, they're going to check Dragon and find that it's gone. But Zac and Renekton are just so tanky. They could just jump in, and that turret isn't even is negligible with Renekton's ult. And if you look, Renekton has picked up a Blade of the Ruined King, which is extremely good item on him. It's gonna help nullify what tankiness YOLO does have. So we'll have.
If you also look at Varus here, he also has a Blade of the Ruined King. He has his Last Whisper. He has his Bloodthirster, so he is dealing damage and getting it in there. But he doesn't have any attack speed, so he's really not the threat that he should be until he gets a little bit more attack speed.
He is getting it in there. But like you said, attack speed is extremely important on Varus. He needs a Phantom Dancer, almost necessity to stack his Blight, because that is where the majority of his damage comes from. You stack 3 stacks on it, and then you break it with your Q or your E. And so Diana makes a kind of strange decision to come over the wall, but it does not result in death, and Fiddlesticks is just draining so much life out of Varus. He's going to have to back off. He's not even going to be able to fight this fight, I don't think. And that's going to result in a turret. Here comes the Fiddlesticks all over the wall. He catches Lulu and Vi again. 3 people are stuck in his ult. There's the Zonias. and he picks up 2 of them. Renekton picks up the other 2, and Varus just has to run away.
Purple team's turret has been
Because he got
destroyed.
caught in the jungle and life drained, he really couldn't help his team there. And it was a really good siege by Niger. And this is, as you often like to say, the beginning of the end.
It is the beginning of the end. I mean, I think they're still close enough to where they can bring it back, but they're not going to bring it back if Varus is making plays like that, and with the Fiddlesticks getting his ult off on so many members of the team.
Yeah, the Flash Spear is really a strong move, and he has no business even poking back in. I actually don't think that it would have mattered if he stayed alive, because that is the game. They have decisively
This
won
is the
what
game.
was a very close game at one point. So I think that it would make sense to see a Fiddlesticks ban, and maybe they're regretting not doing it.
It's pretty crazy to see a game where Incendiary Spade does poorly from the very beginning, but then still carries extremely hard. Diana, I thought she was just going to continue to snowball, but she did not get as far ahead as I thought that she would. Incendiary Spade really did get a lot of people in his ult, and they just didn't know how to deal with it.
I mean, he finished the game at 13, 6, and 11. Diana had a decent lead on him early. She just was a little too aggressive and died too often. Wasn't able to make the plays. What the heck? I'm not sure. I have to fix that on my end. I'm not sure why I did that. So give me a second. I'll fix that and tell me what you think about what we're going to be seeing in the next game. Any other comments on this game? I lost your voice.
I was just saying that I think that Fiddlesticks, it'll be interesting to see whether or not they ban him next game, because he really was the reason that that blue team did end up getting carried later on in that game, but he didn't really win in lane. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not they see that as the threat or their communication as the threat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they might have to blow all of their bans on Incendiary Spade. I mean, we saw him play just a lethal Karthus last week, and it was scary. I was at home, and I was afraid for myself when he ulted. He's just doing massive amounts of damage, and yeah, so I don't know how they're gonna deal with his play in the mid. They definitely need to ban his Fiddlesticks to the strongest champion, and maybe even ban his Karthus, and hope that helps. But I'm really surprised they probably know what happened last week when he got Fiddlesticks, and they figured, oh no, he beat a bunch of scrubs. Well, now he stomped arguably these are arguably the 2 best teams in the league right now. A lot of people are saying that they think this will be the number 1 seed, the winner of this game. Both of them are going to make it into the tournament, but whoever wins this is probably going to be the not number 1 seed in terms of like ranked, but on the tournament. But number 1 seed in terms of in our hearts.
I agree. I actually think this is the closest game that we've seen. Incendiary Spade, I think that he got not lucky, but he got. I would say it was fortunate that the enemy team did not know how to deal with his ult. If they knew how to deal with his ult a little bit better, he probably would have lost that game. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they ban Fiddlesticks. But really, if he goes Karthus, it's really kind of a pick your poison, because Karthus is probably a harder carry than Fiddlesticks late game, and he's pretty much guaranteed to deal damage and pick up kills. So if they use their 2 bans on that, and then what do you do from there?
It's a tough call. I don't think that they need to ban Shrapnel's Kate. It is a really strong Kate, but I mean, you could also look to say, hey, we banned out a bunch of champs for Incendiary. We're going to first pick Caitlyn, because Hectix plays a lot of Caitlyn, so we'll first pick Caitlyn for us, and then you can't have him, so he's got to play Ez again. His Ez wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't as good as his Caitlyn, so we'll have to see. I think there's other ways around the banning, but it just depends. So yeah.
And it wasn't like the backup with Varus was really that bad. He played a decent Varus, and there was a decent Ezreal on the other side. So I don't really think that if I was one of the team captains here, or I was making the decisions, which I'm obviously not, I would have them target ban the highest ranked player each time. These teams don't play together all that often. I think that's really where you need to focus the bans, and I think we're seeing that kind of play out here with the Fiddlesticks and the Karthus from Incendiary Spade.
Yeah, I mean, I can see in other games not banning the highest player on the team, because there's a lot of teams where a gold player is the highest. But when you have teams with platinum players who really, I mean, they have to learn how to carry teammates that aren't as good as them to get to where they're at. So you really have to take any advantage they have, such as like champion knowledge, away from them, and just get rid of his champions and make him play in a zone of uncomfort or a lack of comfort. So we're still waiting on Butt Frustration, and then we'll get started.